Well, hey everybody, welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
Generation X Paranormal. I am Logan.
And I'm Nicole.
And guys, we have something cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, typically we do a lot of the basic paranormal stuff that we always do. You know, you got your divinations and your investigations and all these other Asians and everything else. But
All the Asians.
all the Asians. But the one thing we never had is a palm reader. And what's interesting is that it's kind of always been there, I remember being a kid just going up and down the boardwalk in San Diego, and you'd see them out there and they'd, be doing their readings, which who knows, maybe they're doing a lot more there. I don't know. But it was always been something that's been there. And kind of want to bring it to you guys. So
yeah, I've always been curious about it.
Yeah.
And I know literally nothing about it.
Yeah, and it's almost a shame because I feel like at this point we probably should have. But
Well, we're starting it now.
we're starting now.
Yeah.
But we have Myrna Lou on, and we're really excited to talk to her. But what can you tell us about her?
So Myrna Lou, she's actually an author of 4 books where she talks about palmistry and explains everything. Okay. She's also appeared as a guest on several hundred radio and television shows. And she's known as the psychic soulmate specialist.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. So she's been around for a long time doing this for a very long time. So I'm excited to learn about this from her.
Let's do it. Let's get our palmist reading.
Palm
read. We'll talk to Myrna. Hi, Myrna Lou. How are you doing?
Hi. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, we're excited to have you here. We're going to get started on a bunch of questions, but it's really interesting because covering the paranormal, we run the gamut of quite a few different things, but you have the dubious honor of being our first palmist. So it's exciting to get to get to actually talk to somebody that we've, a different
I've been
version
doing it
of.
since I was 10. It's a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a really long time. That's awesome.
So in
But
6
no,
days, in 6 days I'll be 86. So it means I've been doing it 76 years.
My goodness, that's awesome. Wow, to have that kind of longevity doing anything is amazing.
Yeah,
So
no kidding. Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Well, I like it. If you like something, it's not work. I'm
That's
having
right.
fun.
That's absolutely right.
If you help people, and then it makes me feel better if I'm having a grouchy day or something.
That's
sure.
right. Yeah.
That's
You have aches
100%
and
right.
pains, you forget about them when you're doing other people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But for those who may not know your story, obviously you have such a historic background. How did this kind of all start? I mean, obviously you're very young, but was there like
Well,
a
I
single
was 10.
moment?
I think I was in the 4th grade, maybe the 3rd grade. I showed up at a hospital where my mother was a nurse to get a ride home after school, and I had to take 2 buses and transfer to get there. I showed up at 3:00, which is when the shift would change, and she said, "The 2nd shift isn't showing up. I have to stay 8 more hours." And I got noisy, and if you know how kids are, and I said, "It
Yes.
smells like dead people all around here, and I smell medicine," and I carried on. So she grabbed a book off the volunteer wagon, and she didn't look at the title, she didn't look at the author, she just said, "Here, sit down and read that." And I sat down, and it was a book on palmistry. It was written in 1895, I found out later, by a Chinese man, and it was something about palmistry, but I couldn't understand one word in that book. It was all over my head. But I can remember every illustration, every page had a picture with a hand on it. And so I came back every day for a whole semester, read that book every afternoon, went home with her, and then I knew how to do it.
That's
Took me about
That's
3 months
awesome.
to learn it. So
Yeah,
my
that's
sister was 6. Right now, she's 82. She walks like this. She doesn't want me to look at her arm because she thinks I'm gonna look at her hand and see something. But I already know when I look at a hand, I memorize it. So I'm
Well,
at
that's
66,182 right now,
my goodness.
and I've
Wow.
been documenting them. And
That's
so
amazing.
I write something down on every single one, so that's how I know.
Wow.
So
Wow,
that's a
that's
lot.
amazing. That's amazing.
That's sort of one of
So
those what they
31
call
years
eidetic
ago
memories. Yeah.
31 years ago, I met my husband, and he said I told him, "You're gonna be number 9999." He said, "No, I wanna be number 10,000." And I said, "No, you don't understand. I'm just counting for me, and you're 9999." So he tells people he's 10,000.
Ah,
It's funny.
So from 31 years, I went from 10,000 to 66,000. So I do a lot of reading.
Wow.
So at a
Wow.
fair, I can do 50 people in 2 days.
That is a lot of
One
hands.
after another, and
Yeah.
they're only 15 or 20-minute readings, but those people call me for more. They come back, they want the rest of the story.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
you asked
That's
me
so
how I
cool.
got started, that's how.
That's
That's so
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
With having that much, having, like you said, doing it for decades, kinda when you look back, was there a first reading that just sort of, made you realize that you had a gift
I
differently
don't
than
think it's a gift. I think that anybody can learn it. I teach it all the time. I've taught
Okay.
over 3,500 people, and they're out doing it. So it only takes 2 hours to learn it. And I wrote the book back here called May I See Your Hand, this white book,
Mhm.
and it's because I couldn't find the book I learned from. And we lived
Oh,
in Colorado at the time when I met somebody who sat down at a fair, a man sat down, and he said, "You sound just like a book I have. It's Oriental Palmistry. It isn't Hindu." And I said, "You're right. That's what I'm doing." And he says, "I have the book." So get
Oh,
this.
wow.
He bought it in Maine for $10 at an antique store. Was written in 1895, so it's an antique, right?
Yeah.
I lived in Colorado, but I was born in Ohio, and that's where I read the book. And I've been looking for it for 45 years when I wrote that one. So I
wow.
wrote
Wow.
that in 1 hour, and you can't write a book in 1 hour. So it was
No.
channeled. I didn't know that word at the time, but it means it came straight out of God through my head and came out. And I wrote it all
Okay.
longhand.
Wow.
Wow.
That
Longhand.
amazing?
That is
Took
amazing.
100 hours to
Whoa.
get it on the computer, but it only took an hour to get it all down.
That's amazing. Being I'm 51 this year, and, even at 51, I have to really think about the last time I wrote longhand anymore. It's such a it seems like
Yeah.
it's just sort of a dying thing, which is awful because, I
Well,
mean,
you
so much
probably
cool
could
stuff is
write a
done that
book
way.
about your show,
Oh,
about
yeah,
some of
that's definitely in the works, but
Maybe someday.
someday.
some
But,
of the interesting people that you've done.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
People would
yeah,
love
there
to read that because maybe they missed it, but then they can catch up.
Yeah.
I think I may have
That's
to make
true.
some calls. So,
Well, I wrote
palmist
4 over here behind me, but I'm, writing the 5th one now,
oh,
Okay.
that's
in my
great.
spare time, which I don't have a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we understand
Yeah,
that.
we perfectly
Yeah.
understand that all too
Well,
well.
I worked for 35 years in corporate, and I did this on the
Mhm.
side, and that's
Okay.
pretty hard to do.
Yes, it
So
is.
then
Yes.
in
I
1996, my husband said, "We're getting married, you don't need to work. Why don't you just do this a little more instead of part-time?" And it
hmm,
became 70 hours a week. It
yeah,
became
Yep.
mushroomed into
we
Mhm.
understand that,
We totally
believe
get
me.
that. Yes, we do.
yeah.
So now palmistry, the way I've understood it, and maybe this is a little bit different, but to me, it's always been a form of divination. And do you think it's similar to like a tarot, or is it just something that is
No,
more okay?
it's not like tarot at all. A newborn baby's born with a little hand this big, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
On that hand are some lines. Then they have a line by the wrist, and if they don't have a single line right there, they're not gonna make it. And
Hmm.
so doctors when I wrote my book, I had to do a little research. I remembered everything that I learned, but I wanted to be sure everything was right, so I did some research, and I found out in 1967 in America, every resident in every American medical school takes 1 whole day of palmistry.
Really?
10-day
Interesting.
class. I would love to teach that there. But anyway, that
Yeah.
class, helps them when a newborn is born, they look for congenital things about the heart, the lungs, all different things. And so when they meet you in an office and you're sick and you go in to see the doctor, they shake your hand, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
They're feeling it. Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it wet? Is it dry? Then they're looking at your fingernails. They're checking you out. You don't know it
Hmm.
Hmm.
because it's science, just like
Yeah.
astrology and numerology are a science. Tarot isn't.
Right.
Right.
To me, tarot cards are fun, but they're
Sure.
kind of
Yeah.
woo-woo.
That's interesting, though.
Yeah, it is
I didn't know
interesting.
that.
No, I didn't know that either. Now, whenever time I go to the doctor and they start shaking my hand, I'll be like,
Well, I call him on it. So get this, the doctor who did my shoulder in July said, "You know, I really don't wanna do you because you're over 80 and your lifespan isn't very you're near the end of your trimester of this part of your life. "Why don't you just live with the pain?" I said, "Oh, you don't understand. I'm gonna live to 102. I have 17 years left." He goes, "How do you know that?" So I showed him my wrist. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I took palmistry. I know about the wrist."
Huh.
Take a look at your
That's so
wrist.
interesting.
Both of you put your elbow on your stomach if you're right-handed. If
Okay.
you're left-handed, put your left bend your arm up towards your nose, and you'll see some
Okay.
stripes there. You
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
some stripes on your wrist?
Yeah.
Yes.
How many you have?
Go ahead.
Wait, what are we looking at? I'll
Your
make sure
stripes.
that.
They go
Do
across your
that
whole
part.
hand, across your wrist.
You've got 2 full ones.
Yeah, I guess I got 2 full ones and kind of a partial third.
That's right, because you just told me you're 50, right? Or
Yeah.
51.
I'll be
Okay,
51
each
this year,
row is
yeah.
worth 25 years,
Huh.
and
Hmm.
you're a little
I've got
past that,
1.
so
Oh, I can't tell. 1, 2,
you should
and
have
half of a
3.
third. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you do.
because I feel
Mhm.
it. I could feel it right now. I know you're showing 75 because you cut yours early. His come as he lives them.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't
That's
know why it's
interesting.
because you come from different parents.
We
No
Yeah.
matter
do,
whoever
very
your
much so.
gene pool is, it's who you come from.
Huh.
Like, I
Hmm.
come from fighters and survivors, so I come from people who push, who say, "I will get this if it kills me," and I'm one
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
those.
that's awesome.
See, and
That's
so
really
are you.
yeah.
I don't know, I
Thanks.
think he's more laid back than you are.
Yeah. Yes.
That is a very, apropos.
My grandmother's 99, if that tells you anything.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
So that's why you're
And
showing 3
everybody
rows
says
already.
I'm just
Yeah.
like her, so,
So you
yeah,
got
that
And
her
she's
makes
gene
sense.
pool. But we're
yeah,
Yes.
made
she's
up
still
out of people from way back, grandparents, parents, all kinds of,
Mhm.
and
yeah,
so you come from more than just a few relatives,
Right.
sure.
right?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
So you're
Uh,
gonna learn all kinds of stuff whether you want to or not.
No, I love it. I'll soak it all up.
Okay, I
no,
have one thing to ask both of you to do. Fold
sure.
your hands up. Can you see what I'm doing? Fold
Yeah.
your
Sure, yeah.
hands, and
Okay.
then look and see which thumb is on top.
Right.
Right.
Oh, then you're both normal. Is everybody right-handed here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I am too, but my left comes up. I don't know if you can see.
Oh,
My
yeah.
left
Oh,
is
Uh-huh.
yeah.
upward
That
because I was
feels
born
so
left and
weird.
my mother switched me.
How is that possible?
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
So
First of
I
all,
married
putting
to
my
3 lefties, but all 3 of the people I married were left-handed
huh.
because
Hmm.
I'm one of them. See?
I find that so weird, like, if I try to put my left
It
one over,
feels
it feels
off.
so
It does.
odd.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
other thumb you should
Yeah.
hate the other one up
Yeah,
there.
that is so
Yeah.
Off is
weird. I've
right. I
never
can't
even
Uh-huh.
stand
tried
it.
that before.
It
Huh.
feels foreign. No, you never knew about it until I just
No,
showed
you
Never
know, don't think about it.
never
but
would have
your
crossed my
viewers
mind.
can do it too. Everybody can do it and see. So if the
Hmm.
the wrong one comes up that what you are, it means you got switched.
Huh.
Some kids switch in school, they see other kids coloring with the other hand and they copy them, and so they're
Yeah.
really left, but they become right, and now they're ambidextrous. I
Right.
can't
Yeah.
do anything with the left hand. I had a terrible time. So
Hmm.
I was in a
Interesting.
cast, and, from the shoulder thing, and I would try to write people's phone numbers down. I couldn't read a thing that I wrote.
Hmm.
I couldn't make it
Interesting.
out because I can't write with that hand. I can't
I've
eat
Yeah.
with
always
it.
been
I
amazed
can't
but
spell.
I've always been amazed by people who
Wow.
write with their left hand. They kinda, like, write this way.
Yeah,
It's
I've
kinda
I've
Well, they
noticed
have
that.
to because they
Mhm.
yeah,
live in a right-handed world, and the
that's
paper and
true.
everything is heading the wrong direction for a
Huh.
lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Now, Myrna Lou, I know that, um, looking at your website and reading a little bit about you ahead of time, you're a master palmist, and forgive me because I don't know kinda how that works, but that designation, is that something that's obviously an earned, level, or how does that work?
Right. I earned it because I'm self-taught from at 10 from a library
Right.
Mhm.
book, but if you make it to 66,182 people, that makes you a master.
I would
I
not
would
argue
say
with
So,
that.
I
I
would say
have
that's true.
800,000 hits on my website.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
That's pretty
amazing.
many hits.
That's a
And
lot,
then,
yeah.
there was, survey, or I guess it was a survey done by Google, Bing, and Alexa. All 3 of them went together, and they came out and said I was, it's right here, number 12th best palmist in the world, number
Hmm,
6 best website for palmistry in the US. and that was in
That's
Wow.
2012.
awesome.
It's a
Jeez,
long
that's
time
awesome.
ago, but it's an
Hey, that's
honor,
still a great honor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely an honor.
Yeah.
and
Wow.
that's what makes me a master, I think.
Yeah.
I
That
would
would
not argue with that for 1 second.
yeah,
Yeah.
not at all.
So in this entire time that you've been doing this, I would imagine there's, some norms when it comes to palmistry, but has there ever been, I guess, a palm or a hand that has just kinda made you rethink some things, like maybe this like, kind of didn't break with the norm?
Well, here's the thing. I've had murderers, kidnappers, embezzlers, blackmailers, UFO people, you name it, I've seen it, and so
Mhm.
I call them on it, and I say, "I see you broke the law," and they go, "Wanna see my ankle bracelet?" So, yeah,
Mm,
I don't look down there to see their feet when they walk in to get a reading, but I catch them anyway. So the thing is,
Really?
I've done good ones and not good ones, but I have to continue and do the whole reading. So I had a guy once at a fair, and he said, "Could you give me a really fast reading?" And I said, "No, we do 20 minutes for $20, and I'm doing what you're supposed to do." He goes, "Well, you don't understand. I'm at the mothership is circling the building. They wanna take me to my new planet." So I had to go in the restroom and get him off of me. His energy
wow.
was he was woo-woo,
Mm,
you
Wow,
know?
mhm.
that's
So, yeah, I get some that make me think, "Oh, no. What did I
Right.
do?" But I've
Well,
done
they're
famous
people.
people. I've
Yeah.
done famous people that you've heard of, and I have a list right here. So I was just gonna hold it up and show you.
oh,
So
okay.
I've done, ex Gerald Ford. He was our president.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He told me at a party in Colorado after he had 4 Secret Service, and I made them go stand across the room, and he said, "If you don't tell me something that only I know, I'm gonna go downstairs," and he was a keynote speaker at this event that I worked at, and he said,
Mhm.
"I'm gonna tell everybody not to get in your line." Well, I didn't care because we were getting paid for the evening. I was there with an agency that sent me there. So I thought, "Okay, I'm gonna really blow his mind." So I made a little prayer to myself, and I said, "Make me brilliant, please, God. I'm not gonna ask ever again, but help me." So I tell him something, he jumps up out of the chair, and he goes, "I'm a believer."
Hmm.
And
Wow.
the Secret Service were on me like bugs pick at you know what. They were after me. And so they said, "What
That's
did you
funny.
do? Did you hurt him?" And he said, "No, no, it's okay. She got me." And I told him something that only he knew. I don't know
That's
why
That's
so
I made the
amazing.
prayer, but, you know.
yeah. Lucky for you, I guess, huh?
That's
Well, so what
fascinating.
Ye
happened was, I had to do all the Secret Service guys after that. They
Oh,
got in
I'm
the line.
sure.
That's so
They
funny.
wanted
Yeah,
to
I
see.
mean,
Wow.
But at that
talk
same party, I did Ivana Trump, and I said, "Oh, I see there's trouble in River City," and she said, "What does that mean, dear? I never heard that before." And I said, "That's code for me, that means there's gonna be a divorce." She, "Oh, no, me and the Donald are like that," and of course, we
mm,
know they got a divorce.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'm the Donald.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
Wow,
And at
that's so
that same
funny.
party, I did people that you would have heard of, like Clint Eastwood,
oh,
Sly
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Stallone, Kevin Bacon. A lot of people
Ah,
were there.
so your 6
Chevy
degrees of
Chase.
bacon
You
are
know those
pretty
names?
pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
those
That's
names?
Oh, 100%.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Then
I
I
mean
did, when I was a teenager, I did Phil Donahue. He was 17, I was 16,
wow,
and I said,
oh,
"I think you're
Phil.
gonna be the first TV talk show host," and he was. And I did Irma
Wow.
Bombeck. I worked in a newspaper plant because I wanted to be girl reporter Lois Lane, so I went
Mhm.
working in a newspaper, and so she comes and says, "I hear you do palm." She gives me both hands. I only read the one you eat and write with. So I said, "Just give me one hand." So she did, and I said, "I see you're gonna write 5 books." She did.
Hmm.
She was 24 at the time. She wrote them
Gee.
all, and I said, "You're gonna jam pack so much in your life, but it's not gonna be a long one," and she made it to 73.
Huh.
Hmm.
See, and I don't tell people that usually, but her lifeline stopped.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
My first husband's went to 42, and that's when he died, and I
Wow, that's
predicted that, and then I
incredible.
forgot I said it. So,
Yeah, that's incredible.
That brings me to a point, say and this is something our audience knows all too well. I've had cancer and I've had a brain bleed, so theoretically, technically, I've already died once. Does that show in a palm as well?
Oh, yeah, everything that impacts you is gonna be on your hand, from high school graduation, got married, got divorced, whatever happens to you, it's there. I could do
Hmm.
4 hours on one hand. There's
Wow.
that
Wow.
much. There's
That's
detail.
amazing.
So if you went to the hospital and then you made it out, it's gonna show. If you went to the
Hmm.
hospital and they did tests and they couldn't find anything, that would show, because that would be on your lifeline, your medical.
Hmm.
I'm sitting here looking because I've had so many of them. I'm surprised
Well,
it doesn't
stick
look
your
like
hand up
railroad
like
tracks.
this, let me see. Put your
Here,
hand
let's
right there.
see if that helps at
Okay, I
all.
can't see it. Oh, yeah, I can. You have a long lifeline. It's about 89 to 90.
My goodness.
And he
So
always
that's
says he's never gonna make it that long.
Can you handle me that long?
I
well,
don't know.
okay, I'll
What's
show
the
you what
divorce
it is,
line
and you
say?
can okay, put your hand down. I'm gonna show
Okay.
you what a lifeline is, and you look at your own hand. This is a lifeline. Can you see this?
I'll
Starts
bring it
on
up
the
just a
baby finger side, and it goes
okay.
across towards the middle of your hand.
Okay.
It's under your fingers about an inch down. You see it?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
This one right here.
So every
Mhm.
finger on there, yep, that's it. So every finger is worth 20 years right here and 10 in between. So when I was 10, this is how I learned to do it. I go 20, 20, 20, that's 60, right?
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
10
Mhm.
more, 70, 80, 90, and you're heading towards 90.
My
Between
goodness.
89 and 90, that's pretty
This one?
Yeah.
because
I
the
look.
IQ is at the end, and I saw that. And your IQ looks like this, looks like a lifeline with a fork, and the fork
Okay.
is the IQ. You see a
Hmm.
fork?
Yeah.
You
How
don't
short is it?
Here. Jeez. Yeah.
I'm just
Here.
teasing you.
So that which one is it here?
okay, you got a fork. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fork is where it goes off, and that's where you can take your mind and make that long piece that's the extra part there. You see that humpy thing in the middle of your hand?
Yeah.
That's your fork.
Huh.
I call it a fork. You could call it a humpy you could
I
call it
like it.
whatever you want. I
I
just
like the
say
Okay.
the
humpy thing.
lifeline
Yeah,
is
actually
here
kinda
as
like
the
that better.
extra piece. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to deal with me till you're
So I
A
might
lot
as well
longer than I
see
expected.
let me see your right hand now.
Okay, here, let's see if I can do
Yeah,
this.
you have to get where I can see it. Oh, well, it goes clear across your hand. Take a look at it.
Yeah,
It's over
I already
100.
did. Yeah.
Did you see you know? You know what I'm
Mhm.
talking can you see? Count
Yeah.
it up.
Mhm.
You could see it's 100.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, that doesn't surprise me in the least
My
because her
grandmother's
grandmother at
99. She's
99
still
Yeah,
here.
well, I said that must be where you're getting it from, but that line definitely proves it. See?
Yep.
That's
I had
amazing.
already glanced down and saw that.
But we
I didn't
already
even say
talked about the
anything.
bracelets, and the bracelets better be there too, and you have 3 of them, and he has
Yeah.
2 in a little
Mhm.
piece.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the bracelets are important too.
Hmm. Well, that's amazing. I've never that is the first time in my life I've ever had my palm read.
Well, I
Me
haven't
too.
even read
Yeah.
it. That was just one line.
Well, that's
Okay,
literally the most that's ever happened to
so
me in
let
my
me show
life, and
you
it comes
what
from
I
my
do in
palm.
a real reading. Can you see this?
Yeah, absolutely. My
So, the
goodness, that's a
5
lot.
basic
Wow.
lines everybody has. So it's a lifeline, love line, work, reproduction, the bracelets. Then these are all symbols, and those are my symbols, so I just picked them out and put them on here so I have them in my literature. But when I do any kind of fair, I hand this out to people. So it's got my picture on the front, tells how I do parties and about my website, all that stuff is there. But this is what gets them every time. They walk by and I say, "What would you like to know?" And there's
That's
so much
Yeah.
awesome.
there. It gets their
Wow.
attention.
I gotta admit that was you kinda blew me away a little bit there. That was a lot of fun. I've never
Mhm.
even thought about it. You know, I'll be honest, when I was growing up in California, um, we would go down to the beach, and I remember going down the boardwalk, there was quite a few there was a lot of people who practice different types of divination and stuff like that, granted, but I remember being a palm reader there, and I was fascinated by it, but I never stopped, and it makes me always wish I maybe would have
Would have
stopped
done it.
and seen it, you know?
Is there
Yeah.
one in particular thing that most people want to know the most? Like
Well,
their
women wanna
lifeline
know,
or
"Where's my boyfriend? Am I getting married? Am I
Oh,
with my
okay.
soulmate? If we're miserable with each other, why is he my soulmate if we can't stand each other?" That's what
Yeah,
women want.
those questions.
Men wanna know finances, money, are they gonna get the job? Are they gonna get looked over? Are they gonna get promoted or not, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
So some of the men cry, and that's
Oh,
really
sure.
sad because I have to leave the room when they do that because they put
Sure.
their head down and call for their mother, and they go,
Oh, that's
Aw.
"Mama," and I go, "Uh-oh," and I have to leave. Then I come back
yeah.
and they go, "Must be these allergies,"
Yeah.
Those
because
allergies will get you every
I
time.
get 'em right
I
in
know.
the solar plexus, I get 'em right where I say, "I'm sorry, but you're gonna get passed over. You were one of the top 3, but you aren't gonna make it." "Oh,
Wow.
shoot." And I said, "Well,
Oh,
maybe I'm
man.
wrong. I'm not God. I only get 90 to 95% right." And then they call me up and say, "Well, you were right. I didn't get it."
That's
But at the
awesome. I
time,
mean,
they
not
Still,
were
good for
though,
them,
hanging
but yeah.
on.
90 to 95%.
Yeah.
Those are good odds.
Now if
Yeah,
only our
right.
weatherman could be that good.
Well, we know what you just looked at your own hand, so I'm not making that up. If
Yeah.
your
That's
hand
true.
was a little short thing, I would say, "Uh-oh, there's something
Yeah.
wrong here."
Are
That's
you ever afraid to tell someone that? Like, if their lifelines are super short, is it
No,
hard to
I
tell them
say,
that?
"When was your last little mammogram?" If it's a woman, I say, "Oh, you don't need it till you're 40, I'm 38." I say, "I'll go with you if you're afraid to go. We have to go now. Saved a few
mm,
Mhm.
lives." The men
wow.
prostrate. I tell them, "I
Yeah,
see you go to the bathroom 5 times a night." They say, "Yeah, I can't even sleep. I'm up every hour on the hour." So I say, "Well, I think you need to go get that checked out." And they do, and they call me from the hospital. And they go, "I hope you're
really.
happy. They took my prostate." I say, "You didn't need it anyway. It's like an appendix. You don't need it. You can
Yeah, it
live
wasn't
Yeah.
doing
without
you
it."
any favors, that's for sure.
Well, if
Wow.
I can save lives, that's why I said I enjoy that I can help people, guide people. And so the women just wanna know frivolous things.
Yeah.
Usually. But if it's a medical thing, I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose, I can just see.
Sure.
So
Right.
the
Right.
woman who illustrated my first book, that May I See Your Handbook, I was 38, and she said I said, "I see you're not married." She said, "I'm engaged, see, 10 years." I said, "I think you need to get married." She goes, "Why is that?" I said, "I think you're gonna be in the hospital, and I think you need that insurance, you don't have any." Well, they got married that Thanksgiving, this was in October.
Mm.
She died of breast cancer.
Oh,
But at
no.
Oh
the
my
time when I
goodness.
read her, I said, "I see a thing on your lifeline that shows a bump on your breast." She said, "Oh, yeah, it's like a mosquito bite. I never wear a bra because it irritates it." So I made her go get a mammogram, and that was 10 years
Mm,
coming. If she
Hmm.
had
mm.
gone if as soon as she saw it, maybe they would have
Yeah,
saved her life, you know?
right. And that's a little frustrating to me that if doctors actually have to study this, they don't do more about that
Right.
in their practice. That's
They
a little
just do it
frustrating.
as a quick,
Yeah,
they're assessing you, you know?
yeah.
So when
I
I
mean, if
told the doctor I was gonna live to 102, he said, "Oh, how do you know that?" And I showed him, and he said, "Oh, yeah, the bracelets, because I have 4 of them." See 'em?
Wow.
yeah, that's amazing. You know,
I
it's
just I
you're
can't
right,
help it,
it's
and
Yeah.
that's over 100, so it's 100 and a little bit. That's what it is.
yeah, I don't know that I wanna go to 100 anyway, so it's probably good that it's in the 90s
So,
'cause
actually, you guys are young enough that you have a chance to go to 120 to 130 because anybody under 50 or around 50 is on the cusp. And that
Mhm.
means that technology, modern science, medicine's all gonna change. It changes every day anyway, but it's gonna
Yeah.
really change by the time you're my age, and so
Mhm.
you may go way beyond what your lifeline says.
Hmm.
Everybody
yeah,
under 50 may.
I think I just hate to see the people I love not make it that far. I think that would be really unless I knew everybody else could come with me, I wouldn't wanna go that far.
You don't
Yeah,
have
I
any
hate that
choice
song.
in it anyway.
No, you
You have
don't.
no
True.
choice.
My grandmother's been saying for I don't know how many years now, "I don't wanna live to 100. I don't." I said, "You don't get a choice in that," and now she's hit 99 this summer,
She's
Yeah.
and
excited about her
and
hernia.
she's like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to make it to 100 now." And I said, "Yeah,
She's
you're
probably
going
gonna go
to."
past 100.
I think she might.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
she might, yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
Do people
but it
ever
has to do with the gene she comes from.
Oh,
Oh,
no kidding.
See, you just got some
150%,
of
yes.
hers, and you got from other people too, so,
Yep. Mhm.
you know.
Absolutely. Do people ever come to you, and basically obviously, we've kinda talked about some people that may or may not agree, but I guess basically I'm coming down to people with skepticism. Obviously, with what we do
Yeah, I get people who say, "I don't know what I'm even doing here." tell
Right.
me something, just like what Gerald Ford did. And I
Mhm.
tell them something, and they go, "Oh, uh-huh, uh-huh," and
Right.
then by the time they're leaving, we're best friends, and they wanna go to lunch.
If you think about it really hard, actually, it wouldn't need to be that hard. If you think about it, you were literally the White House palmist there for a little while.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
no, he wasn't there at the time he was done, but I did the whole
Uh,
Broncos team.
oh, no
Colorado
kidding.
has the Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I did a
familiar with it.
party, I did the whole team, all the coaches, the water boys,
Wow.
everybody, and so that was fun. Did you ever
I
hear
can
of John
imagine.
Elway? He
Oh
was
my
a
gosh,
big
of
Oh, yeah.
course.
quarterback.
Yeah,
Sat down
100%.
at a party and everybody had a costume on, it was Halloween, and he came in a business suit, and I said, John, I had to be in a costume, where's yours?" And he said, "I'm an attorney, see, lawsuit." And I said, "John, I don't like your joke." So there was a bed in the room where they put me in the basement, it was their spare room, and he threw
Mhm.
himself on the bed and said, "Get over here, woman, and read me." And I said, "I only read my husband when he's in bed, I'm not reading you, get in the chair now." And he got in the chair and he goes, "Ooh, you're like a school teacher." And I said, "Do you want a reading or would you like to leave the room?" He got the reading. And then I told him something that I don't like football. It's why they chose me to go do that party because I don't go understand it. I don't watch it. So
Yeah.
I said, "I see a ring with pave diamonds all over it and it's the shape of a helmet." And he goes, "Yeah, that's the Super Bowl ring." But they'd already lost 6 that year.
Yeah,
6
Mm.
games. So I
yeah,
said, "Well, I think your team's all gonna get one," and they did. They won.
That's so cool.
2
I bet he
years in
loved
a
hearing
row they
that.
won, and that
that's
was,
so
like,
cool.
early 2000s, probably
I remember that.
2003 or
I
4.
remember it very well. Actually, I was just getting out of, Navy basic training when that happened, so
Hmm.
I remember
But
very
then his
well.
wife came in, and she was dressed in a costume, and all their friends came in, and it was exciting. It went till 4 in the morning,
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
so I was
That's really
way
cool.
tired by that time. I did,
I
Oh,
like,
couldn't
I'm sure.
50.
imagine, yeah, I
Sure.
first of
Yeah.
all, just looking at that many hands, let alone having to actually do something to
A
read
whole
Well, I
that,
was
football
high as
team.
a
a whole
kite.
football team.
You get high as a kite when you do a whole lot of them.
I'm
You can't
Yeah,
sure.
help
I'm
it,
sure.
because I got all that swimming around in my head,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
you know?
Now,
Mhm.
Myrna, we talked a little bit in the beginning, and we said that, or you said that this was something that can be taught, that can be learned.
Well, the
What are
book that
some
I wrote is a self-teaching. I teach
Okay.
classes and I
Okay.
make
Yep.
everybody buy it, but that book called "May I See Your Hand" is what I say to everybody, and every page has one illustration on it with the explanation. So a person can somebody just ordered it from California, I have to send it out tomorrow.
Hmm.
So I send them out all the time, and the publisher went out of business, so I just get them printed, and I get, like, 20 or 15 done at a time because that's what I
Mm,
can
Okay.
afford to get made.
Right,
And
yeah.
we have them made with this, I'll show you over here. It's made with a spiral thing here.
Oh,
oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So when I open it, can you see the pages?
Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes.
One hand on each page, that's the way it is,
Okay.
the whole book. So there's an
Okay.
explanation on each page too. So here's another page.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, a person can teach themselves. So this book is $20.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So, and then if I mail it to them, which I have to, I can't send it through, you don't wanna do something like that on the Internet.
Sure.
No,
I
no.
charge $5 for shipping because they charge
Okay.
me $4.95, and I have to drive to the post office.
Oh,
Right.
geez. Yeah.
And that's worth
So
more than 5 cents.
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
right. Well, I'm
Yes.
doing it tomorrow so that that girl in California will have it. So people
Yeah.
teach themselves, and they go out and start doing it.
Hmm.
What's the
You
one
have
thing
to
you would want?
practice.
Oh,
You have
Yeah,
to
100%.
yeah.
practice
Yeah.
anything. If you take piano lessons, you start with one
Hmm.
hand, then 2 hands, then the foot pedal in 2 hands, and that thing is going like this on you know,
Metronome.
the top.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
so with this, you start out a little bit, and you do a little more until you get confident. So I did the
Right.
milkman, the mailman, my teachers, all my cousins, everybody I could get in the beauty shop, the grocery store, it doesn't matter, I practiced all the time when I was young. By the
Yeah.
time I was 20 and I was married, I was doing married couples, and I was getting pretty good. So then I got
Mhm.
50% right. So it
Okay.
took me a while to get but nobody says anybody's perfect, you know?
No, no. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes time to develop those skills, so
Yeah,
makes
well,
sense.
yeah.
What
So that's why I
with
said I'm
people?
at go ahead.
I was just gonna say with people learning and obviously you wanna cultivate people to kinda, to learn these different things from your book. What is the one thing you really want to impart on some of the people that may pick your book up that say, "Okay, I really wanna turn this into a thing. I wanna do it," kinda like you have as a career or maybe just as a on the side. What's the
Right.
one biggest, I guess basically, what's your biggest advice for people that wanna do
At
that?
practice till you can't stand yourself because you have to just keep doing it. You gotta learn your own hand first. So in that book on page 25 is a blank hand, and when I teach it, I make everybody look at their own hand, write every line down that they see as I teach it, and if they can you know your own life anyway, but if you can read your own hand, you could read somebody else, and it's like an encyclopedia. If you get lost on something, you can look it up.
Okay.
So the 5 basic lines are in there, all kinds of, symbols are in there. Then there's a simian line, there's different lines. There's a giant M that means money's coming, but it also means nobody better scam you or they'll be sorry they ever met you.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's
There's
for
a lot
sure.
of different things.
hmm.
Huh.
So
I did not know there was so much in this.
I didn't either.
Mhm.
As far as technology, and we mentioned this a little bit in the beginning, but technology, does that change anything for you? Like when things kind of advance and maybe get a little bit, as we said, we could all live to another, well, us to
well,
120,
okay,
but
everybody asked me, "Can I read them online?" I can't they have to make a Xerox copy or scan it with their phone. You held your hand up, it was really hard for me to see them.
sure.
Right,
So I
yeah.
can't do that. I can't teach a class online either. I could, but how am I gonna see the other person, and I need 10 people so that 5
Right.
can do each other, 5 couples or
Right.
5 different
Okay.
groups.
That makes
How you
sense.
can't do that online. Can't do
No,
it. It would just
no.
No.
be me doing it, and then nobody's practicing. They could leave the room, I wouldn't know. So you have to actually learn it, practice it, and then go out and be confident that you know what you're doing, and the people love it that get into it. When I
Hmm.
go to fairs when I did in Colorado, I would teach people, and then I would go to a fair, and I have my poster, and I'd walk around a little bit, I'd see somebody's have a poster, and it says, "I do tarot, this, and palmistry taught by Myrna Lou." So that, to
Oh,
me, was an honor. That meant they were
yeah.
proud
Yeah,
that they learned it through my system.
that's
That's
really
really cool.
neat.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I
We,
thought that was nice. So I'm gonna just show you one thing. So
yeah.
this is my hand.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
so you see the lifeline?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
This is the love line. This is work. This is a soulmate symbol right there. So all the stuff is here, the bracelets, see? So
Hmm.
every those are all the lines. Reproduction is on the baby finger. So I look at all that stuff.
Hmm.
It's like a
Huh.
format that I follow, and I just go dot, 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 get through all of
Okay.
them, and then
That's
people have
great.
questions. That's why I said you have to have a back and forth. And
Right,
they'll say,
yeah.
"Well, I went to the hospital, I had cancer, what do you think?" And I say, "Well, it says you beat it, you're never going back with that, but you
Hmm.
have to be careful what you eat so that your stomach stays, or whatever the
Yeah.
thing is." So then the other thing I was gonna show you is this is my television show.
Oh,
Oh,
You
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So I had a set, I had a band that played music, I had the whole thing was all done really well with, so I had 3 cameras. 'Cause you have to have one on the audience, one on
Sure.
me, and one on the person I'm talking to
Hmm.
back and forth. So
Mhm.
after I did the first show, which is on my website, and people can look that up under videos and they would see it, my husband said, "You're better than Oprah." And that was like a compliment I didn't expect, he
Yeah.
didn't
Wow,
know
that
he
is a
never saw me
fantastic.
work before, and he was
Yeah.
there for the full 8 hours with all those people, and he goes, "You pull people right out, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, you have to."
Well, I'll be honest
Because
with you, you're a ton
otherwise it's
more
boring.
you've been a
Right.
lot more fun than Phil Donahue ever has been for me, so that
Yeah, but it would just be talking heads otherwise, and you don't want
Yeah,
that,
right,
yeah.
you know?
that's for
Like, we're
sure.
talking heads, but this is animated, we're
Yeah,
not doing
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because that whole I guess that whole, broadcast television and all those sort of things has really just sort of died off. I mean, it's really not a thing anymore, and it's big into streaming now, and it often makes you wonder with shows like yourself like yours,
Yeah.
For people who are into to wanting to do palmistry and things of that nature, kind of doing that as well. And you mentioned it'd be really difficult without doing that in front of them, but no, I find it really cool because to me, I'll be 100% clear and honest. I feel like palmistry and palm reading is one of those things that I don't think it's looked at as much when it comes to some of the paranormal stuff because honestly,
Mhm.
it's more of a science.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in a
right.
way, there is some intuition there. I feel like
It's well, actually, I read the person intuitively.
right,
Yes, yes.
When I
exactly.
read them in person, they sit down in front of me, and I can look at them, and if I just touch their hand for a second, I got it, so
Right.
Mhm.
that's the psychic part. But that isn't
Right.
I don't call myself a psychic, it's just I can go in. So
Mhm.
some people put walls up. One of the questions you asked me was if you have a skeptic. Well, somebody has an invisible wall here, I have to break it down. Then I say, "Well, what are you doing here? If you don't really believe in this, get out of my chair." And they
Yeah,
Sure.
get up,
yeah.
walk away. I've only had 2 do that, but that's out of all
Mhm.
those thousands, so that's not very much. But the thing is, if somebody doesn't believe it, they shouldn't come to me. I
No,
think
I
you're
I
supposed
agree
to
100%.
first of all, you're born with that hand, and your
Yeah,
brain made it, and we're all 9 months older than we think we are. Because your
Mhm.
mother carried you for 9 months. So your
mhm,
Yeah.
birthday is when it is. So mine is November 10th, I'll be 86. But February 10th, I'll be that other horrible number that's closer to 90 that I'm not saying out loud.
Right.
Okay. So, anyway, those numbers, whatever age you think you are, you're not. You take your
hmm,
birthday and you add 3 months to those 9 months your mother carried you, and that's the number you are.
hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
So that makes me
if
almost
you're
52.
what month is your birthday over here?
I'm in July.
Okay, so August, September, and October, last month, you turned the next number.
And that feels about right. That's
When's
about
your
right, yeah.
birthday?
In February.
Okay, so February to March, March in May, you turned the next number.
Okay.
So this February coming up, you'll be the new number, but you're really
Mhm.
already that other one. But there's a chronological number and there's the real one. So because this is Oriental, they believe conception is birth, not the
Mhm.
day your
Right.
mother tells you to celebrate your birthday.
Right, right.
So conception means 9 months before. Well, when you're in the womb, your brain is developing first, and that's what made
Mhm.
the lines on the hands. So a
Hmm.
Hmm.
newborn baby comes out and it says whether it's going to college or not. It's already on there. It says if it's gonna, be a success or be a bank robber, it's gonna have no scruples, scruple. So a
Right.
lot of stuff is there, and a newborn has a hand that's so tiny, but it's on there. And then
Yeah.
the baby grows up and has experiences, right?
Yeah.
Everything that happens to you shows up on here. If it
Hmm.
makes an impact on you, it's gonna be in your hand.
Hmm.
That's
So,
interesting. That'd be a good study to like read an infant and then be able to come back all those years later and see.
It's gotta been done before,
It's had
right?
to have been. Yeah.
Huh. So, I'm looking at your other book there, can we talk a little bit about
yeah, right.
the
Which
so
one?
the blue one, it's hard for
Oh,
me to
the
read the
soulmate book.
yeah, the soulmate
This is
book.
my favorite thing to talk about. So I wrote this
Okay.
because so many people wanna know about what's a soulmate? Do I have one? Where are they?
Mhm.
Will they stay forever? All kinds of stuff. So soulmates mean reincarnation. You have to believe that you came back. So we
Yeah.
all have past lives. So every time you come, your sex changes. So you're the male, female, every time. So
Hmm.
normal for me is 4 to 7. If I see that on a hand, I say, "Oh, you're normal." And some people have 60. And if it's
Hmm.
more than 20, I yell at them because I'm lenient up to 20, but that's 3 times normal. And so 21 and above is not good. So a lot of
Mm.
people are 14, 11. I let them have that, okay? But each time you come back, you're bringing back something that you're looking for here on this dimension, this lifetime, that you
Okay.
Hmm.
didn't get to finish. So my example would be grandma and grandpa. So let's say you were grandma last time you were grandpa. This lifetime, you're the male and the female reversed, but you found each other. That's why you're married because you connected, you clicked. So now
Mhm.
you don't have to go back up, or when you go up, you're done. You don't have to come back here. So,
Okay.
to me, it means, you reconnect with somebody that you have a karmic debt with from another lifetime, even
Huh.
though you're not who you were before. In here, you're still you, and we have
Mhm.
implant. They're, just in there, memory banks of who you were before,
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
okay?
We've talked to a lot of people who do a lot of past life, and
It
that
is
is
interesting.
something that's very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, some people do the Akashic records, and they told me
Yeah.
I have 790 past lives. I say, "Uh-huh. I think I had 1 because my hand shows 1, and mine
Okay.
says I'm going up this time because I got the soulmate this time."
Huh.
And to
Huh.
me, the soulmate mark is this thing right here, which I don't have. My husband has it. You only have to have one person only has to have it in a couple, and I'll show you what I'm looking for. A thing that looks like a pillow, a pyramid, a puffy thing right there by the wrist. And if you have
Yeah.
that or one of you has it, that means you knew him before in another lifetime. Either one of you have
I
that.
have it, don't I?
You have it. I don't have it.
Yeah.
He has a big one, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I have
Well,
it.
my
Yeah.
husband's is this long. He has a really huge one. The other
Wow.
2 didn't. So if I hadn't have gotten a divorce or if the first one didn't die, I might still be there. But I was
Hmm.
supposed to find this one who's 9 years younger.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
That's really
But
fascinating.
yeah, that is.
but
Myrna,
since I was only here one other time and I was the male, so he could have been the male or the female, it doesn't matter. So when
right.
I met him at that bowling alley where I told you about the hat that I threw,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we went to lunch. And he said, "I know you from back there." And I didn't turn around and say, "You've been here before." I said, "Clarify back there." And he
Hmm.
goes, "You know that other lifetime where we were three-year-old little boys in nursery school together?" Now, I'm from Ohio, he's from New York, and I'm 9 years older, right? I look in
Right.
the soffit of the building. You know what a soffit is up by the
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
ceiling? I looked up there and I said, "Is the name of this nursery school we went to called Baumburger? Didn't we call it Baumburger?" And he got hysterical because that was right. He starts pounding the table, stamping his feet, screaming, "Ah!" And so I started screaming because I thought a mouse ran up his leg. I've never seen anybody do that in a restaurant. We got thrown out. So the manager comes over and he goes, "We can't have this at lunchtime. You people are making too much noise. This is a busy place, and why are you screaming?" I said, "You don't understand. It's karma. It's karma." He goes, "I don't know her. Karma isn't a woman's name." So we
That's
went out in front
hilarious.
of the restaurant, and I invited him to dinner because we didn't get lunch, right? So I
Right,
said,
yeah.
"Come to my house for dinner. I have a coupon at a restaurant where it's 2 for the price of 1, so you'll come and I'll treat you to dinner." He says, "Okay." Shows up with a little duffel bag. I go, what's that?" He goes, "Oh, I live here now. I was going
Hmm.
through the divorce." I said, "You can't do that." He said, "I'll stay in your spare room. I'll pay rent. I'm not leaving." I said, "I live 40 miles away from him." He lived in a different town. He goes, "I'm never going back there. I live here now." Stayed 3 years.
Wow.
That's
It
amazing.
took me 3 years to get through the divorce.
Yeah.
So, it took me 1 year for the divorce, 2 years for his custody battle with his kids.
Mm.
So, 3 years later, he said, "We have to get married now." I said, "I thought we were married because it felt like a marriage." And
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
2 years in Colorado, it's called common law, and you are
Right.
married.
Yeah. Mhm.
Just
So I said,
paperwork
"So
at
we
that
are
point.
married." So he said, "No, we don't do that to your mother. We're getting married." We got
Wow,
married
that's
on a cruise ship
fascinating. That's
That's so
cool.
with
cool.
16 family members.
Aw,
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
isn't that cute?
it
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Myrna, what's one of the biggest, I guess one of the biggest misconceptions you would want our audience to know about palmistry?
What now?
The biggest misconception.
Biggest mystery.
Misconception.
Oh, people think that this is woo-woo, and a lot of them say, "Oh, you just make it up." I said, "No, I prove every line as we do it, just like I showed you." So
Yeah,
I said,
Yeah.
"If I'm
mhm.
proving the line and it matches my book, I'm not making it up." And they go, "Oh." So then they can't call me on it because it's true. I don't make stuff up. I
Definitely.
could make up a lot more interesting things than what's really on a hand. It would be I have a
Right.
good
Right.
imagination, you know? I could be real dramatic about it, but instead I
Oh,
tell what
yeah.
I see. I tell the truth.
Absolutely. So, in all the years that you've done this, which obviously is very vast, and you're going to continue to do it for many, many years beyond
I'm
this.
never yeah, I said I'm gonna be 90
That's
with a
right.
Yes.
magnifier going, "Hello, dear, let me see you." Yeah, but it doesn't
Exactly.
happen because I like it. My
But
mother
as
once asked me that.
yeah,
My
for
mother
sure.
said, "Aren't you bored yet with this? Why do you still like it?" And I said, "'Cause I get the up out of it."
Yep,
Absolutely.
If you
exactly.
get an up out of something, why are you doing your show? Because it gives you an up.
That's for
Something
Mhm.
sure.
different,
That's right.
Yeah, I
right?
wouldn't do it if it
It's
gives
not
me
just going
down.
to work.
Yeah. But in that time though, what has or has palmistry kinda taught you about life itself? We know that there's the mechanical part of it or the scientific part of it, but in everything, I think life teaches you little things here and there. What is the thing that you've taken away from what you do about life itself?
Well, what I found out was everybody's different. And everybody's the same, which is an oxymoron when you so we're
Sure.
all everybody has their own personalities and their own traits and their characteristics, but a lot of people are exactly alike. So soulmates usually are blending. So here's a person, and they look like this. They not exactly, but almost. See? So I learned that you have to look at people from different points of view. So some people are better than others. The ones that are the murderers and kidnappers aren't so good, you know,
Right.
but I have to find something good to say to every one of them.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
that would
my
be tough. That would
absolutely.
be tough.
no, I can find stuff that's good on hand. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
dwell on the part where they were in jail or, the part that's not
Right.
good.
Right, and I think everybody falls. Everybody
Yeah.
meets a sometimes a tougher season than the season before it, so you just
So
never
I get
know.
so what happens is I take away from doing what I do. I feel good. The person I read usually feels good, and we're all happy. If I give somebody bad news, I can't help it. I have to tell the truth. I don't lie. But
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
do stupid things either. If something looks really bad, I just say, "I think you need to go to the doctor and get that checked
Mhm.
out." I don't tell them what I saw exactly because
Sure,
Mhm.
then I would be sued, and you
Right.
can't do
Yeah.
that. You have to be
sure,
careful how you do it.
absolutely.
So
Well,
I'm pretty careful.
I don't blame you one bit. We've you've kinda talked to us a little bit about, some of the famous people that you've read, but I do have a question. If there
Okay?
is anybody in history, is there one poem you wish you could have read
In history,
in history?
I would have probably liked to have seen Richard Nixon's hand
Oh,
Mm.
because I
interesting.
think he was pretty devious and he had a lot of stuff that I would like to have seen. The National Enquirer called me once and they asked me to do Obama's hand
Oh,
before he
really?
well, he was running the first time, and they had
Yeah.
Mhm.
8 palm readers, and we all wrote up what we saw, which was the same thing. And
Hmm.
they said, "You all came up with the same answers." And then they
Oh.
didn't print it because their editor poo-pooed it.
Oh,
So we would have
Really?
well,
got paid big bucks for that, but they wouldn't
Yeah.
print it.
Oh.
editors.
Yeah.
So
Go
so
figure.
I was approached to do my own TV show here in Florida, and I'm not doing it because it's too much work,
It is a
Yeah.
lot of
way
work.
too much work. I mean, at this
Absolutely.
age, I did it when I was, like 70, I could do it, but I couldn't
It's
do it
just
now.
and not just a television show anymore. You'd have to have a social presence. You'd have to have all kinds of different things that, I guess in the 70s and 80s, you wouldn't have to even think about because there wasn't such a thing.
All
Now
the
it's just,
social media. Yeah.
yeah, you're never off the clock. You're always in the spotlight no matter what. So,
Well, I
so
couldn't
yeah.
even go to a restaurant. First of all, my voice is a dead giveaway. And if I'm in a restaurant, we're in a booth, people behind me turn around and go, "Is that Myrna Lou over there?" And they know it's me.
Yeah, that's true. That's
That's
very
funny.
true.
But I was, like a fixture in Denver, that's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
big city with 6,000,000 people now.
It's a big city. Yeah, we were there, gosh, about 5 years ago, maybe more than that now.
Yeah.
But,
At least 5.
I did my first time in Denver, and I could not get over just how huge of a city it really was.
Mhm.
It's
And it's
quite enormous.
also all sprawled out, and there's
Yes,
neighborhoods
Yes.
everywhere and towns all around yeah. So
absolutely.
we didn't live in Denver, we lived in towns, the outskirts.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We lived in suburbs, but,
absolutely.
they knew me in the suburbs, they knew me downtown, they knew me everywhere. That's because when
That's
Aw.
you
so
have a
neat.
show, So
Yeah.
many
Yes.
people see that, and then they learn who
Absolutely.
you are, and that's it. Then everybody's doing that, showing me their
100%.
hand.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Read me. I just came in for lunch. But,
Yeah, if you go to a restaurant, the waitress puts a cup of coffee down, I go, "Oh, I see you have one in the oven." She goes, "Shh, they don't know that here. They'll fire me if they think I'm
That's
pregnant."
funny.
oh my goodness, that's wild.
That's
Yeah, I get
funny.
it. Or in the
Well,
grocery store, I could be in line and somebody will say, "I bought that before," and I'll say, "Oh, did you like it?" And I'll say, "Aren't you that palm reader?" And I go, "Yeah." And say, "Well, I live in your neighborhood." And then they stick their hand in my face.
That's funny.
well, Myrna
Yeah.
Lou, thank you. This has been great.
It has been, yeah.
I think for our audience, if you could, and again, we're going to have all your information up as well, but how can they reach out to you and how can they kind of get
Buy
involved
your
with what you
book,
book?
yeah.
Yeah, and buy your book.
Okay, so I have 4 books, and they're all on my website, and if they look up my website, it's www.myrnalou, it's spelled MYRNALOU.com. I was named for a movie star, Myrna Loy. There's no space between my first name and my middle name, it's all run together. My, email's very easy, it's Palmist, PALMIST, @myrnalou.com. And the website is www.myrnalou.com. So they're
Fantastic.
all with my name on there.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
great,
So
great.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure, like I said, we'll have all your information up, but that way, because
the
you know
last
we're
show that I did, I was saying goodbye to the people and the phone was ringing. And I
Mm,
don't know how the woman had my phone number because I didn't give that out, and I was saying goodbye and thank you for inviting me and blah, 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 and the phone's ringing, so they said, "Well, we'll say goodbye, get the phone." I get the phone, and the woman says, "You read me 10 years ago at so and so," and I said, "Tell me your name," and she said and I said, "Oh, I know your hand," and I told her exactly what I told her to I memorized every hand, I don't know how I do that. My husband said
wow.
I'm a savant, but I don't think that. It's just I remember people on every hand I ever looked at.
well, an eidetic memory for sure. I mean
Yes,
that
absolutely.
without question,
Yeah.
Have to be. Yeah.
that's
That's really
fantastic.
hysterical, isn't it? So she said, "Yeah, you told me that already before." I said, "Well, I know what I said." She said, "Do you have that in front of you on a sheet of paper?" I said, "No. I had it when I wrote it. When I read you, I made a note or
Yeah.
2."
It's
I said, "You're a
amazing.
realtor, right?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Didn't I say you were gonna make $1,000,000?" "Yeah." I said, "Didn't you do it already?" "Yeah." I got her.
That's crazy.
It's phenomenal.
Wow.
Well, Myrna Lou,
Wow.
thank you so much for being on the show. We
Yeah,
had an
thank you.
absolute blast.
Thank you so much for having me. It was the
Mhm.
fastest hour
Of
I've ever
course.
had.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
went by really quick. That was a
That was
lot of
pretty
fun.
fast, wasn't it?
Yeah, it does
Yeah,
You
it
ever
it
have
does.
me
absolutely
back,
was.
I read people's hands. They can
Yeah,
email it to
for
me, and I'll
sure.
read them out live on the air.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
let's see if we can get that set up.
Yeah, we'll get it set up.
We'll see
We'll
if
definitely reach
anybody's
out.
interested first. They may not like
Okay.
it once you get this edited and
Oh, they'll
yeah,
like it. They'll like it.
yeah.
But again,
Usually
thank you.
everybody wants to talk about themselves, so they like it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Most
Right?
people will enjoy talking about
Mhm.
themselves at any given point they
Everybody
can.
enjoys that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, again,
Thank you,
thank you
guys.
so much, and we look
Okay.
forward to talking to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Thanks, Myrna Lou.
Yeah, thank you so much.
She's fun.
That was so
That was
fascinating.
it was really fascinating. And, she has got so much knowledge behind it. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I knew there was, like, the basic lines and stuff, but I didn't realize you could tell some of the things she was talking about.
no, and I'm just
Like, the
glad.
waitress is pregnant. Like, how do you know that from your line? That's the thing I didn't ask her.
That would spook you though, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
here you're giving somebody an iced tea, next thing you know, they're telling you that you're pregnant. You're like, "How the hell do you know that?"
Well, I would just assume they're psychic. And that's the thing is I think there's more to her than she
Yeah,
thinks
I
there
think
is.
so
Like, she's
too.
definitely intuitive, but I think she's got a little extra
Yeah, well,
a
even
little extra there.
a little extra. She
Mhm.
said even that she had a little, sorry, I help myself with that one. But even then, she said that she had some intuition too,
Yeah,
because
like
she does.
she feels their hand and she
Right.
automatically gets stuff. So I think that's why she's so good at this because I don't think that just anyone can read something like that. And that may have been how it started with her.
Right.
But then she developed those abilities over time and with
Mhm.
all the practice and sitting down with people. And the fact that she can remember everyone's hand. What?
I know.
That's insane.
I can't even remember my own, and I stared at it every other day. Just like,
I know, I've
okay.
already forgotten where
I know,
my
I'm like,
lines are.
what is this?
It's crazy, but yeah, that's what makes me think, like, she's definitely more than just intuitive.
Yeah,
She's
I agree.
definitely got an ability, and it was clearly her path, because
Mhm.
if she was given that book 10 years old
Yep.
and she, you know, you can hand a book to a kid, that doesn't mean they're gonna sit there and read it.
I've been handed
You
many.
know what I mean? Then, like, especially, like, in that time period, a lot of children went to their parents' jobs and, like, you know, roamed around because that's
Yeah.
what they had to do back then. But for her to actually sit and read it and then wanna keep reading it and
Yeah.
then start practicing it means it was her path. It was what she was supposed to do,
Absolutely.
clearly.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, if you're interested, please contact her for a palm reading. I'm thinking about it. I
yeah, I
really
am
am.
too.
It's pretty interesting. Now that I know I may live to be really old.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got this long line, but let me tell you something, that somebody's sure trying to break that line up on me. But, yeah, I would hope that if you guys are into this, which it's really cool,
Yeah.
please reach out to her. She's very, very passionate about what she does,
Mhm.
and, I think I think you'd definitely get the value out of it for
Yeah,
sure.
and how cool. She's read some of, like, the
I
people in
know.
Hollywood, and
Like Gerald Ford? I mean,
I
hello, that's
know.
weird, and the whole Broncos team?
Yeah.
That's just I mean, guys, look, she knows her stuff, she's been doing it an incredibly long time. If you've ever wanted to have your palm read,
This would be the person to
this
do
is the
it.
person to
Yeah.
do it with. Yeah, reach out to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Other than that, guys, hey, fantastic show. Thank you so much. And we got some amazing stuff coming up. I
Mhm.
really wish we could tell you because we already know what's coming up, but can't. Got to build the
No.
suspense. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next
I'll
week.
see you next week.